rock don't get scrutinized about how they dress and act the way women do. And you manage to exude a current of sexuality through your lyrics and your voice and your stage presence without really using your body or lack of clothing to achieve that. Is it intentional, or is that just the natural state of Lzzy?
I think it was always something that was there, but I kind of tapped into it on this record. Whereas I had a lot of fun kind of walking that line. I think, Alice Cooper did that very well, as well as far as, not going too far, either way. Whereas you kind of leave something to the imagination, but still there are certain lines that might make you think, oh, did I just hear that, or am I just, the sick person for thinking that, And so it was a lot of fun. In fact, there were some moments writing this record where my guys turned to me and are like, that kind of makes me feel funny. Are you sure you want to say that? But something that I enjoy right now, as far as the response from certain people, is that they're kind of appreciative, especially from our girl fans, appreciative that I took kind of an in charge type of role as far as that goes, even with the sexually charged lyrics, which is something that I wanted to do. It's didn't want to completely be the victim on this record. It was a lot of fun. As far as the guys go, there have only been 2 times that somebody asked me, so, it's not you, and Patricia had me back, ouch, do you hate men? Like, what's the deal here, And, I told him, I said, dude, I love men. In fact, you're part of the reason why I exist, man, but I just like to be in control, So it was one of those situations when writing for this record that I just had a lot of fun with, and something that I didn't know that I had in me that I ended up just writing an entire record and compiling an entire record about. And so it's been a lot of fun, because there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek to it. Some of it is a little bit of a kick in the teeth, but always done with a smile.
And do you have a process for how you write?
There's always a little bit of something. The fundamental rule is kind of going wherever kind of inspiration takes you, not to sound cheesy, but that means kind of forcing yourself at 3 in the morning, even if you don't want to get up and write something down, write it down. But what usually happens is the songs start with myself, whereas I'll have, the basic structure, a riff, usually, obviously melody and lyrics, done to the song. And my favorite way to write is actually on a 4-track. Whereas, I have a Pro Tools rig, and I've done the garage band thing, but I really love the simplicity of only having 4 tracks that you can work with. And so it just, you don't overthink it. It's just simple. And then I bring it to the guys and basically say, hey, can you help me make this cool? Because I'm kind of the queen of cheese here, whereas I am the person that will write the Bryan Adams ballad. And then be like, how can we fit this on a record? And then, it's kind of like I birthed the child, and then the guys help me raise it, which, if my guitar player were here, he'd be like, yeah, it's a Full House thing. So it's interesting. We're trying a couple things, that are new, because, part of the reason why we got to write with some amazing people on this record as well. There's some songs that, we wrote with Corey Taylor for one song, and we got to jam with the DeLeo brothers, and I met John Five. Like, we just met a lot of people in California that we ended up writing with to kind of break us out of our routine, and funk, because you start writing the same song over and over again,
right.
When you stick to the same routine. So currently, we're actually writing for the next record, overachievers that we are. And we're doing some different things, as in we're kind of all going to our 4 corners and doing what we do, our instruments. And like, for example, my brother has written songs that are only structure and drums, no melody, no music, just drums, and he's very good at it. Whereas so right now I'm kind of excited to work backwards, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just only going to do melody now, because there's over top of these tracks, because there's nothing to influence me either way. There's no riff to influence me. There's so it'll be interesting. It might not work, but we're trying a bunch of new things this time.
You seem to be a Gibson girl. Flying V, Explorer, Les Paul. Why Gibson, and why always white?
Oh, man. The white thing was actually something that happened by accident. One of the first guitars, actually, my parents ended up buying me in the year 2000 a brand new Gibson Les Paul Custom, and it ended up being white. And then the second Gibson that I ended up owning was bought for me by the former guitar player from Shinedown. And so he actually went to a pawn shop, and the reason that he got me, it was a white Gibson Firebird. And it is hilarious because the reason that he got it for me was because there wasn't any pink, and it was the girliest color that they had. So it wasn't actually, there was no rhyme or reason to it for a second, and then for some reason I ended up just being attracted to white guitars, kind of like, some people are attracted to red cars. It's like the same kind of feeling. But as far as the Gibson goes, I love the way they sound. It's just a quality instrument, and I've never been one to pick up a guitar and if it feels like a toy, if it's too light, I won't buy it. So it's kind of like I love having a chunk of wood. And my Les Paul, for example, is a 2000, which is like a year or two before they started chambering those Les Pauls. So it's like it's a heavy guitar. I'm gonna have back problems by the time I'm older. But it's just, I don't know, it's personal taste, and I mean they've helped us out before, the wonderful Gibson people. We don't have obviously they don't do full sponsorship and haven't completely given me one yet, but it's personal preference. Even if I have to pay full price, I'll do it.
Gotcha. Well, last question. What would you like to say to our Metalholic readers?
Oh, man. Thanks for keeping metal alive, and thank you for including me in that genre. It's an extreme honor, and it's humbling to still be here, in a band, and to be accepted, because there's something about metal fans and rock and roll fans that music just never dies with you. You're not doing it because it's a trend. You're not doing it because, somebody else says you're supposed to. You just will listen to it forever. It's something that is a part of you, and so I'm very humbled to be a part of your lives like that.
Real quick, where does the song "I Bleed" come from?
Oh, wow, that's a blast from the past. That was done. Man, how long ago was that? That was like 2002 that was written, and
wow.
We had recorded it with a B producer in Philadelphia. That's like if you found that, that's just a demo recording, and it's one of those things. I always loved kind of working with the blood reference and like more or less bleeding for a person. And just kind of that feeling that you get when somebody all of a sudden that you extremely cared about is all of a sudden no longer there. So that's awesome, man. I'm so glad you found that.
Oh, I did. I love that song. You left a few songs off that are bonus tracks that I just think they all should have been on the album. But I will let you go.
Wow.
Have a wonderful holiday. And please get up to Boise. Ever since I moved here, I can't see anybody anymore. Have a great holiday. Be safe, and have a good Christmas.
Oh, thank you, darling, so much.
Take care, Lzzy.
Taking the time. Bye, hon.